to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move. You got it all inside of you. Feel it to be true. And when you dance, I'm in the groove. You make me move. You make me move.
Good evening and welcome to 365 Language Planet. 365 Language Planet, yo koso. This is Let's Speak English and Japanese Live, episode 16. The theme of this episode is Fight Exhaustion. Now, before we start, let's check this month's 365 language moons and planets. Yes, we now have moons. So far this month, we have 6 moons: Takesh, Takanona, Kanmama, Hiroti, Charming, and A Hybrid. Way to go. And we have 2 planets, YO and KE Workshop. Nice job. If you want to become a 365 language planet, all you need to do is share an idea in 1 video. And if you want to become a moon, all you need to do is share an idea in 2 videos in a month. So, let's begin. First, let's do a speed training. I will say a phrase in Japanese from the video Deito ni yakudatsu eigo phrases hassen. And then I will give you 1 minute to change the phrase from Japanese to English. The first phrase is 私と一緒にハイキングに行きませんか? So how do you say this phrase in English? Please tell me in the chat or in the comments. You have 1 minute. How do you say 私と一緒にハイキングに行きませんか in English? And there's more than one way you can say this phrase. So you can use, the same phrase I said in the video. Oh, Tetsuro! Long time no see! Thank you for joining tonight's show. I'm so happy to see you again. All right, Takesh, thank you for joining tonight's show too. Oh, nice idea, Tetsuro. Yes, long time no see. Indeed. So happy to see you again. Cheers to Tetsuro. All right, YO, nice idea. Thank you for joining tonight's show too. Charming. Nice idea. Thank you for joining tonight's show. Yes, Tetsuro. Cheers. Okay, so one of the answers to this question is, would you like to go hiking with me? But how about we go hiking is okay too. Nice idea, Takanona. Thank you for joining tonight's show. How about we go hiking together? Would you like to go hiking with me? Do you want to go hiking with me? Let's go hiking. So there are many ways to say this question in English. Nice ideas. Okay, let's move on to the next phrase. So, next phrase is はい、もちろんです。いつ行きたいですか? How do you say this phrase in English? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. You have 1 minute to try to say はい、もちろんです。いつ行きたいですか? In English. Now, just like the last phrase, there are more than, there are a few ways to say this. That's sure. When do you want to go? Nice idea. Yes, that is a nice idea. If you have an idea, please let me know in the chat or in the comments. How do you say はい、もちろんです。いつ行きたいですか? All right, charming. Nice idea too. How do you say はい、もちろんです。いつ行きたいですか? In English? Takesh, nice idea. Nice idea, Yo. Okay, so usually, when people say like はい、もちろんです in English, usually it would be like, yes, of course. There you go. Nice idea, Takanona. Usually, yes, of course. But another way to say is definitely. You can say definitely, kind of like a strong way, like definitely. When would you like to go? When do you want to go? Okay, too. And sure is a good phrase to use too. Sure, definitely, of course, yes. So nice job. Yeah, definitely. But sure is okay too. So nice work. Nice job, everyone. Okay, let's move on to the last speed training phrase for tonight, which is 水曜日は私にとって都合がいいです. How do you say this phrase in English? You have 1 minute to tell me in the chat or in the comments. 水曜日は私にとって都合がいいです. How do you say this phrase in English? please let me know in the chat or in the comments. Charming. Nice idea. If you have an idea, please let me know in the chat or in the comments. How do you say 水曜日は私にとって都合がいいです? Oh, nice idea, Tetsuro. Nice idea, Wayo. Nice idea, Takesh. This is another phrase. There are many ways to say 水曜日は私にとって都合がいいです. In English, Kan Mama, nice idea. Thank you for joining tonight's show. All right, and the answer is one of the answers is Wednesday is good for me. No problem, Kan Mama. I got it. Hey, hi, Bridge. Thank you for joining tonight's show. So yeah, Wednesday is good for me. I can go on Wednesday. It's okay. Good phrase. Wednesday is convenient for me. That's okay too. So great job, everyone. Nice job. All right. So now, let's talk about the next speed training. In the next review of the speed training, I will say phrases in Japanese from the speed training videos I publish on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Japan Standard Time. So please check out those videos before our next live show. All right, so now let's talk about tonight's theme, which is fight exhaustion. All right, so the first question of tonight's show is kind of a long question, but let's try. I think I couldn't study well this weekend because of exhaustion. How about you? 日本語で今週末は疲れのせいで勉強があまりできなかったと思います。あなたはどうですか? All right, so please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. So basically, in this question, like, could you study well this weekend? I could not. I couldn't study well for almost a week because of exhaustion. There was kind of mild exhaustion, but yeah, it was not a good week for me. But how about you? I think I couldn't study well this weekend because of exhaustion. How about you? 今週末は疲れのせいで勉強があまりできなかったと思います。あなたはどうですか? チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。Yeah. The weather has been so nice. I started jogging again. And I think the jogging made me tired. It made me exhausted. So I could not study well this weekend or even, last week. I had a tough time to study. But how about you? Could you study well this weekend? All right, Tetsuro says, this weekend I kicked back and studied English. Fantastic. That's great news. I'm happy to hear that. Charmin says, me too. I was very tired this week. One of the reasons is this changing weather. Maybe. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Thank you, Charmin. Thank you for sharing that idea. Great job. Nice English. I think I couldn't study well this weekend because of exhaustion. How about you? All right. Takeshi says, yesterday I was out drinking during the day, but I did study English at night. Wow, that's amazing. Nice job. I was actually out drinking during the day too. My family and I, we had a kind of a picnic at a park. So, yeah, amazing. Great job, Takeshi. All right, K Workshop, thank you for joining tonight's show. I rode my off-road motorcycle too much, so I couldn't study English well. Yeah, it happens. It happens to me. It happens to people. Yeah, it's very challenging to study well, like when you are exhausted, tired. So, but everyone's different. Some people might not be tired this weekend, and maybe they could study well, which would be great. But how about you? Could you study well this weekend? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. 勉強がよくできましたか？今週末、チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください。Takenona says, I was tired, but I studied as usual. Fantastic. That's great. All right. Well, now, nice. If you are still typing, please continue, and you can share your ideas in the chat or in the comments anytime. Now, let's move on. And oh my gosh, I studied English on Sunday for about 2 hours. Wow, amazing. That's great. Okay, so now please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. 今、チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります。To write a new question in the chat or in the comments. And you can make a question by changing my idea or writing a completely new idea. That's okay too. I could have a really nice time outside this weekend. How about you? One question, like in English. For example, I could enjoy a really nice time at the park this weekend. How about you? That's my new question in English. I could enjoy a really nice time at the park this weekend. How about you? Takeshi says, sorry, I haven't been able to attend your classes as I've been busy with work for a while. No problem. So happy to see you tonight, Takeshi. That's okay. No problem. I know last month was really bad for me because of hay fever. I was so tired and it was tough. All right, Tetsudo says, do you have your favorite spot? I like Shinagawa Furei Square at Shinagawa Station. Great question. Tough question. Do I have a favorite spot? I would say maybe recently my favorite spot is the Vietnamese restaurant near my home called Lotus. Uh, the staff are very nice, and the food is good. The food is, it's reasonable price. So, yeah, it's a very, very nice, relaxing place. So that's kind of my new favorite spot. But yeah, great question. Great question. I've never been to the Shinagawa Furei Square, so maybe this Golden Week, if I go to Tokyo, I will try to check that place out. What else is? I think I could study English well this weekend because of no exhaustion. How about you? Oh man, I'm jealous. I'm jealous, Lyle. I think I got too excited because the weather was so nice. I went jogging and yeah, I got exhausted. I got exhausted. Makes me very disappointed, but it's okay. Taking a nice rest, and hopefully this week I will have a very great week of lessons and energy, study. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to seeing you and checking on your English studies. Okay. Takunona says, I was so tired from practicing dance this weekend that I couldn't write hike. How about you? Well, I'm not tired from dancing. But yeah, nice, very nice. Okay, workshop. I think I couldn't ride my motorcycle well because of too much tire pressure. How about you? For me, no problem. No problem with the tire pressure. But my bicycle, has a broken spoke. And so I'm kind of nervous about the tire condition. But yeah, okay, nice ideas. Good ideas. All right, let's move on to the second question of tonight's show, which is, did anything make you exhausted recently? 日本語で最近何か疲れたことはありますか? All right, so now please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. All right. So, did anything make you exhausted recently? Please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. 最近は何か疲れたことはありますか? チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. As I've said, one of the things that made me exhausted was going jogging again for the first time in about 3 months. I went jogging on Monday, very, slowly, nice speed, nice relaxing speed. And I was a little tired Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But on Friday, I went jogging again. And this time I tried to run. I ran fast for me. And so tired. How about you? Did anything make you exhausted recently? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. I know Takanona, he said you got exhausted from practicing dance. All right, Tetsuro. No, I didn't. Recently, I've led a comfortable life. That's amazing. I think, living a comfortable life is a sign that you are very wise man. Because it's kind of like you know when you want to do more than your limits, uh, you can get exhausted. Okay, K Workshop says drinking too much last weekend from 8 till 3 made me exhausted. Yeah, that can happen. I was think, for me, it's so interesting because sometimes drinking makes me tired, but sometimes, like when I drink, I have such a great time that the next day I have more energy. I feel like I'm like, just, yeah. So it's hard to explain, but yeah. Sometimes drinking gives me great energy, but sometimes it makes me exhausted too. Did anything make you exhausted recently? 最近は何か疲れたことはありますか? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments. All right, Takesh says, I had a client audit last week for 2 days and it was so exhausting. All right, I'm sorry to hear that, but good example. Perfect English. Yeah, that sounds very tough. All right, well, if you're still typing, all right, Takanona says, I'm tired from dance practice this weekend. Plus, I had to pull weeds today, so I'm burnt out. Oh no. I'm so sorry to hear that, Takanona. But you joined tonight's show, so I'm happy. That's a good sign that you have enough energy to join tonight's show. So I'm happy to hear that. A Hybrid says, I am exhausted both physically and mentally from work. How about you? Oh no. I'm sorry to hear that, A Hybrid. Yeah, I think a lot of people are working very hard these days because of Golden Week coming soon. So you gotta try to finish all your work before Golden Week. So sorry to hear that, but almost there. So let's do our best to hang in there. All right, Charmin says this changing weather makes me so exhausted. One day is very hot, one day is very cold. How about you? I think me too, Charming. Me too. Me too. Okay, well, great job. Let's move on. So now, please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. You have 4 minutes. Okay, so, you know, tonight's question is kind of negative. Did anything make you exhausted recently? A little bit more of a positive question, I think, would be did anything make you happy recently? Did anything make you happy recently? This is, yeah, much more positive kind of question. But you could always, make a sentence and add "How about you?" So, like, going to the park with my son and watching him play with kind of airplane glider made me very happy. How about you? So yeah, that's possible. You know, you can be happy, excited. Feel good. Did anything make you feel good recently? Or, you know, as always, you can make a completely new question. Um, do you do you have any plans for the next Golden Week, for this upcoming Golden Week? That would be okay. Anything is okay. Let's enjoy using English. All right. So now you can write a new question in the chat or in the comments. All right. Charming says, "Did you make you relax recently?" Great question. Um, I don't know, Charming. It's kind of a tough question. How about you, Charming? Did I will think about it, and please let me know if anything made you relax. No problem, Charming. No problem. No problem. All right. Takesh says, "Did you have recent experience where you drank too much and made a mistake?" Oh no. Nice idea, Takesh. I will come back to that one too. Tetsuro says, "Did anything make you cheer up recently?" I was cheered up by finding a stray cat in my area. Good. That's nice. Okay, so relax. It's kind of a private thing, but I did get some tax money back from the government. And, getting that money back from the government, kind of tax refund return, kind of helped me relax. So that's one thing that made me relax. Charming. How about you? Takesh says, about drinking too much and making a mistake. Not so much. Not so much recently. How about you, Takesh? And Tetsuro, did anything make me cheer up recently? Um, well, yeah, I think, yeah, I would say, Tetsuro, one big thing that made me cheer up recently is having you back, in the show, joining the show again. That made me cheer up a lot. So thank you very much for that. K Workshop says, "Did anything make you excited recently?" That's question two. My pleasure, Tetsuro. Thank you. It's a tough question, K Workshop. How about you? Or anyone. Did anything make you excited recently? Um, all right. New dirt road you found. That's good. I did. One thing that kind of made me excited is I, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, workshop. I need more time to think about that question. So good idea. Um, but let's move on. Let's move on to the last question of tonight's show, which is, what can we do to fight exhaustion? 日本語で疲労と戦うために何ができるでしょうか? So please write your answer in the chat or in the comments. チャットまたはコメントに答えを書いてください. You have 4 minutes. What can we do to fight exhaustion? 疲労と戦うために何ができるでしょうか? Any idea? All right. Wael says, I went to a nice Thai restaurant. Did anything make you happy recently? Great question. Well, one thing that made me happy recently is one of my friends is going to have a party with me at the Lotus restaurant again. So I'm very happy about that. We can sleep well. Good idea, Charming. A workshop says we should sleep well to fight exhaustion. Yes, I think sleeping well is very important as well. But, there's one thing that I think is very important for fighting exhaustion. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get it. Okay, so my recommendation for fighting exhaustion is this Pocari Sweat Ion Supply drink. All right, Tessa says you can eat something delicious, have enough sleep, and keep regular hours. Nice idea. Eat it. Workshop says eat a lot. Eating is good. But I think, in this package, you have this kind of powder. And so, usually you can use this to make 1 liter of regular Bacardi Sweat. But usually what I do is I cut it down to 25%. We can drinking delicious coffee slowly. Nice idea, come mama. Yes, I think that sounds great. You can take a tonic too. Nice idea, Tetsuro. Takanoda says, I recommend eating well, sleeping well, and playing well. Sounds great. Yeah, we know. But the crazy thing is the heat. When the summer season, so hot, and when you exercise or go outside on a hot day, you lose a lot of electrolytes, and it's tough. It's tough to replace them with food. But this drink, Bacardi Sweat, great. And I use my Mega Jockey, and I pour, into the cup. All right. Yes, you can eat delicious favorite food slowly. Is good too. Nice idea, Charmy. Okay, so you should take a Japanese style bath to relieve yourself. I agree. I love taking Japanese style baths, but the season, like late fall, winter, early spring, very good for taking a bath. But now it's kind of too hot. It's too hot for me. But nice ideas, great ideas. And okay, well now last section of tonight. Please write a new question in the chat or in the comments. 今、チャットまたはコメントに新しい質問を書いてください。You have 4 minutes. 4分間あります to write a new question in the chat or in the comments. I think, a little dangerous to say because I'm American. Who knows, but what can we do to fight against Trump? what can we do to fight against Trump? This is a very popular question nowadays in the US and I think all around the world. It's a tough question because you know, what can we do? So anyways, that's just, one idea. But you can do anything, anything you want. What can we do to fight against inflation? What can we do to make a happier world for everyone? Anything's okay. You can change my question to make a new question, or you can make a completely new question. That's okay too. All right, K Workshop says, I really want to know what we can do to master English effectively. Great question. This is, I have nothing planned for Golden Week. What should I do? Great question. All right. Well, in the case, like K Workshop, I think, for you, a great way to master English effectively is, to dive into your project very deeply and think about how you can use English to help your project move forward. It's like the more you think about how you can use English to help you, the more you can master using English. I think so. That's one idea. Takesh, maybe Golden Week might be a good time to take a break. Take a break. Take a good rest. I think you've been working very hard, so I recommend taking a break. But nice question. Tetsuro, we can support institutions or organizations you believe in. In my case, I subscribe to New York Times. That's nice. Yeah, definitely. I think so too. And sometimes I try to share my opinion on YouTube videos. Sometimes. All right. Wyo says, what can we do to fight housework? Nice question. Tough question. I don't know. I think my wife's dream is to buy a Roomba. Get a Roomba. But tough question, Wyo. Let's think about that and let's discuss next lesson. All right. Well, that's the end of tonight's show. Thank you so much for studying and using English and Japanese with me and everyone watching tonight. We have this show, Let's Speak English and Japanese, live every Sunday at 8:30 Japan Standard Time. So, if you haven't already, please subscribe and give the show a big thumbs up. My pleasure, Tetsuro. Thank you so much for joining us again. I hope everyone has a great night, and I will see you next time. Mata chikai uchi ni aimashou. So till then, good night